Tonight, one of the victims of last weekend's deadly hit and run says he had no time to get himself or his friend out of the way of a car going at least 40 miles an hour being driven by an alleged drunk driver. Sometimes there are reasons for why things happen in life, and sometimes there are not.
They'd said that there was no tire tracks, and I didn't hear any sort of braking noise at all.
On the 8th floor of St. Mary's Hospital in Rochester,
The next thing I knew, I was lying in the ground.
what still bothers Chris Glensky the most is that after Christopher Trotman ran him over and killed his friend Austin last Saturday, he kept going and hit 2 more people.
There's nothing to say to someone like that.
Glensky's tibia, fibia, and humerus are all broken.
The stitches go all the way from here down to here.
Radial nerves were shattered and his sense of security now shaken to the core.
Half a foot, and that would have been my parents and not Austin's.
But for all the 22-year-old has been through this week, there were a few bittersweet hours when doctors told him he could leave.
The best thing I did all week was go to my friend's funeral.
It's still unclear why Christopher Trotman decided to get behind the wheel after investigators say his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit.
I don't know. I don't feel guilty. That's the thing, too. It's like we did everything perfect. We were in the crosswalk. We had the right of way. It's a green light.
And while his spirits are high, no doubt the next chapter in Chris Glensky's life will not be an easy one.
It's just been amazing how fast he's come out of this poor injured state of not being able to hardly do anything.
Surprisingly, Glensky isn't angry about what happened. He just hopes other people learn from Christopher Trotman's deadly decisions on that cold night in November.
He made an inconceivable mistake to my head and into my friend's life.
Rachel, the star RCTC football player, had so much brain damage from the incident he had to learn how to walk and talk again. Joe Geike also suffered from 3 strokes, all of this before his 25th birthday.
Left, push.
Joe Geike has his fair share of obstacles these days, but some of them are a little harder to lift than others.
130, 40, 50, and 60? Yes.
When Joe's not at his day-long adult learning program, he's at the gym working out.
This is where he came from. This is what he was used to. This is what he likes to do. So, I mean, this is huge.
All of this seems pretty normal until you learn that just 2 years ago, no one knew if Joe Geike would ever wake up.
It was hard. Real hard.
The thoughts and the words are there. It's just that after 3 strokes and months in the hospital, Joe's mind gets a little tired sometimes.
What makes you so tired? It's just...
Anything else to look forward to. So it's tired every day.
It's hard to believe, but Joe Geike's entire life changed here in this parking lot over a fight that broke out because of a cell phone.
Somebody took my best friend's phone, so I looked for it forever. So that's all I remember.
Joe doesn't remember much of the fight on that cold December night. He just knows when he finally woke up, things weren't the same anymore.
I learned how to go to the bathroom and eat and everything. So it's strange.
Ricardo Thornton and Howard Risher allegedly beat their teammate so badly that the brain damage has now taken away nearly everything that once defined Joe Geike's life.
I think that his brain knows what he's supposed to do, but it just ain't happening.
But beneath that tough muscular shell is a gentle heart that somehow found forgiveness.
The thing was I could kill him.
You used to think about it, you thought about killing him or something?
Yes.
And?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Although he lost his ability to play football, he isn't giving up his sense of determination or sense of humor.
What helps you guys both kind of keep going?
Red Bull.
What did he say?
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Energy drink.
And while there are still countless challenges that lie ahead in this young man's life, he's ready to take them on, one set at a time. It only took 2 shots to end 2 lives that left 2 communities wondering why.
It's a sad day in both Kossuth County and Humboldt County.
Vicki Bowman was working behind the counter at this Crossroads convenience store in Algona, just doing her job Monday night when Richard Swanson walked in.
She was approached by a man wearing a ski mask who demanded cash and cigarettes. She complied with the request and was shot.
In that one instant, that one bullet was all it took to kill the 47-year-old who later died at Kossuth Regional Health Center.
Really left this town in just total shock.
But Swanson's alleged rampage wasn't over. An hour and a half later, he showed up 25 miles away in Humboldt. This time it was a come-and-go store where Sheila Myers was at work, and authorities say Swanson only used 1 more bullet.
Myers died at the scene from her injuries.
The 17-year-old was seen smiling as he walked into court Tuesday, where he was handed 2 first-degree murder charges and 2 first-degree robbery charges. Near his home in St. Louis Park, neighbors had similar reactions to those down in Iowa.
He was just a typical kid growing up. I wouldn't think this of him.
First-degree murder means authorities believe Swanson had planned at least some part of what happened, which leaves those in Iowa wondering why these two stores and why these two innocent victims. Tom, the disease is called epidermolysis bullosa. Essentially, it means 4-year-old Charlie Knuth's skin doesn't hold together quite right, leaving him with open wounds on nearly every single inch of his little body. After 4 years, Tricia Knuth has become used to the stares she often gets.
I can understand why people stare because, they're shocked.
But those moments don't bother her much anymore. Because she knows there's a whole lot more to her son Charlie.
I love you, Mommy. I love you too, Charlie.
Than just cuts and bandages.
He's so happy. How could you be happy like this? He's so happy.
There has never been anything easy about 4-year-old Charlie's life, starting from the time his birth parents abandoned him.
It hurts?
Yeah, why does it hurt?
It's scratch.
But it's now the open sores he has from head to toe that hurt the most.
Is this Alex?
They're even in his mouth and eyes, and it's all because of a skin disorder called epidermolysis bullosa.
As of right now, if there's any exposed skin anywhere, he'll damage it.
After the Knuths adopted Charlie, he was covered by Wisconsin Medicaid, but they denied treatment for a possible cure because it could cost more than $1 million.
He'll fix my skin.
He's gonna fix your skin?
Yep.
Lawmakers have fixed that, and Charlie is now with the Ronald McDonald House hoping to finish the fight.
I just need it to be a little better for him. I need it to be, I need it to make his life worth living.
It's now up to doctors here at Children's Hospital in Minneapolis to make Charlie's skin tougher, procedures that will include chemotherapy and a stem cell transplant. But there's no guarantees any of it will work.
So Charlie knows that his hair is going to fall out. He knows he's going to get very sick. He knows all these things, and he's very excited to do it anyway.
Every parent just wants their kid to enjoy being a kid. Tricia Knuth is no different, but she knows that if this doesn't work, Charlie doesn't stand much of a chance.
And he is so severe that I don't think he would make it past childhood.
For now, though, they're keeping their heads up and have no problem staring at their little boy, who has taught them so much. Charlie has his first appointments tomorrow morning in Minneapolis. His chemotherapy is scheduled for the 20th, and that stem cell transplant will hopefully take place at the end of the month. Live in the studio, Chris Conti, KTTC News Center.